much, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Payton, I just want to thank you so much for your work as part of our healthcare system. As a cancer survivor, and I'm a two-time cancer survivor, I know well that behind the many doctors and nurses, there are also dozens of technicians and clerks and administrative assistants and sanitation staff that are making sure that everything always runs smoothly and patients get the care that they need. And you're all frontline workers. So I want to thank you first and foremost for your really hard work. And I find your experience really, really troubling. And so how do the wages and working conditions that you've experienced affect morale amongst you and all of your coworkers?
Working for UPMC, it's kind of one of those two-edged swords. It's good because I actually have a job to go to, but it's bad because it's like my coworkers and I, we can't afford to feed our families when we need to, pay all of our bills, and we're scared of the medical debt. UPMC controls the labor market in Pittsburgh, and we need a union to give some of that power back to the workers. They have too much power, in fact, and we need the union to balance that power. That way we'll be able to afford to live comfortably and sustain our families.
Thank you for that. And Mr. Gross, thank you also for being here. Your employer, UPS, is headquartered in my district, which is Georgia's 6th Congressional District. So I'm so pleased to hear of your positive experiences as a UPS employee and also a member of your union. Like hospital staff, like Ms. Payton, you know, you work in an industry where accidents can cause real harm. And you mentioned that your union worked to secure rules that were beneficial to drivers and also promote public safety. Can you expand on that, please?
Thank you, Congresswoman. I mean, UPS puts us through an extensive training program as far as driving and our workers inside the hub. So I think that's, you know, one of the ways that UPS helps keep its workers safe, unionize workers safe. And I don't think that workers that are at Amazon or other part-time non-employees, subcontractors, they don't get the opportunity to have that same training and safety.
Mm-hmm. And so do you think you would have been able to get these rules that keep you in the public safer if you were bargaining with your employer or by yourself?
I think that the collective bargaining agreement is what levels the playing field with companies, and I think that would definitely allow workers to have an opportunity to have a voice and a say and to be safer on the job.
Thank you. Ms. Payton, I'm running out of time. You testified that you asked your employer to provide you with more PPE and that they told you that this is what you signed up for. Did you feel like you had any recourse whatsoever? Any other actions that you could have taken at that point?
Being that we're not a union at UPMC, it was kind of difficult to even go further in that. We do deserve better PPE and more information because we are putting our lives on the line. We're putting our families' lives on the line. And if we had a union, it would just make our lives essentially better. Like instead of feeling expendable, we should feel essential, like the essential workers that we are.
And Ms. Payton, you testified, Mr. Gross, your testimony mentioned that Amazon no longer lets drivers like you come into the facility and that you and your fellow drivers think this is about controlling the information that Amazon employees and contractors get. Can you tell us more about what led you to that conclusion and what would you tell an Amazon driver based upon these experiences that you've had?
I would just say that Amazon doesn't want us talking to those employees because they don't want them to understand the power of our collective bargaining agreement. They don't want them to understand the rights and the wages and the standards that we enjoy in the industry. I don't think they want them to know their worth in the industry. And so I would tell them, you know, that be open-minded and learn and strive to have a collective bargaining agreement.
Mm-hmm. And I think I'm just about out of time, but thank you so much to each of you for being here today. And thank you so much for being so candid and honest with us. And I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentlelady yields back. I now recognize the gentleman from